How are you guys doing today? I'm Isalay. Yet I'm coming to you guys with another exclusive, and I'm here to tell you guys exactly about King Najashi. This is an Ethiopian emperor that did a lot of marvelous things in the northeast region of Africa, but also to the Muslims living in exile. He did excellent things. Well, you guys, I'm going to tell you a lot about this guy in a brief substance, and I'm also going to tell you guys a lot about the Sahaba. And I also want you guys to understand the regions of the Tigray and how Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, escaped to that place to live in freedom and justice. Okay. King Najashi. Our prophet said to those Sahaba that were getting ready to flee. Sahaba means companions of Prophet Muhammad. Sahaba is friends. Sahaba are brothers. Sahabas are more like Bedouins, if you guys understand that. Sahaba was more like a brotherhood, a united brotherhood for equals to understand the teachings of a pious and honest man, our Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be bestowed upon him. So the Muslims were in Mecca, Mukarrama. A lot of us say Mukarrama at the end of Mecca just to entice the prestige understanding. Our prophet told the Sahaba not to bow down to idols. When we're talking about idols, we're speaking more so about tree trunks, material, water, maybe the moon, the sun, or different things in that nature. Okay? Prophet Muhammad had a suggestion, and he said to the Sahaba, what if you were to go to Ethiopia? At the time, it was called Abyssinia. And he was referring to the people to go to the city of Aksum. Okay. Prophet Muhammad also told the Sahaba at the time where they were in Mecca, not to base society on nationalism, right? Now, what that's basically saying, nationalism, don't implement extreme deities from the book. The book, which the religion is our thing. We do this our ways. We do not move differently. We're just going to move accordingly to how we are. We're not going to get up on a high horse, basically. We're just going to do it like this. So he says, do not based society on nationalism. Well, you see a lot of days nowadays you have Ukraine and they have an Azov movement, right? Well, they let people be neo-Nazis, they let people do what they do, but these are extreme gangs, right? So let's not say exactly that, but I want to go back to the Ukraine thing here soon. But they're basically saying, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is basically saying, we don't want to implement certain characteristics in society. So you don't want to be extremely aggressive in the society. We do our thing, the rest of society, they have their way to fold, and everybody lives right. Instead of imposing extreme concepts on other people's minds, which are ideas. It also says, once the people, the Sahaba, reached Ethiopia, they were there for a few months, and they were summoned that back in Mecca, everyone had embraced Islam, and that no one was facing persecution. So they went back, and that's just across the Red Sea. Not too much of a distance, but you see what I'm saying? Once they got back, they seen that the Muslims were still definitely in conflict and confrontation. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, said, you need to go back to Ethiopia. So at this time, the Muslims had went back to Ethiopia with 83 men and 19 women. Now I know what most people would say at this time, in this region, I gotta look around, right, to get it going. It's not what you think. See, almost 100 men, you have people for an army, just a few people to look out. You have people to set up tents and stuff. You have people to doctors, just in case anything happens. You have people to counsel, just from tragedy. And then you also have the people, which if not everyone, knows Quran and everyone's teaching each other. So 19 women, you never know how it was at that time. Probably was a little bit, scary for women to really embrace Islam that way. So a lot more people were probably scared, especially women. So basically, they crossed the sea at night, and when they came across the Red Sea, they came to a rich and original culture of Christianity in this land. They came across a great person, a person more pious and more acceptable than the gold on earth. His name was King Najashi. Also, you could refer to him as Negus. His name in Ethiopia was in fact His name was in fact Ashama ibn Abjar. And he was the king who inherited Aksum. Aksum has a tradition, a culture, and an originality that goes back before Jesus Christ. Hundreds of years back. Hundreds of years in trade. Hundreds of years in medicine. Hundreds of years in coffee. A lot of things come from this place in this region. It's the Tigrayan region. A lot of may wonder, who are we and where do we come from? Well, I'll tell you, the land of Kush has been one and will be one. In the near future, we don't know what it holds. Yet, the land and the territory belong to the people who claim it. What we have to do is take the resources of Africa. We have to take the land of Africa and understand what we need to do to stand as one united government. We're talking about so many different ethnicities and races. But like Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to the people, the Sahaba that were living in Mecca at the time, he said to the Muslims that were living in Mecca, he wasn't just addressing 7 to 12 to 80 to 1,000 people. He were addressing a lot of people, more than that, thousands of people. But the people took nationalism as their way of life. Maybe you took a different guy who said something nice, still prophet. Or maybe you see a signy sign. Or maybe you see the women. Oh, these women are so. These things are not real. The attributes are us. Are we supposed to live together and allow the people to understand what happened in those lands at one time? Would a Christian stop being Christians because they hear the land was Muslim? Would a Muslim stop becoming Muslim because they hear the land was Christian? Would a people give up their religion because no one wants to do it anymore because they see what happened here? Well, you have to understand, truth will always be the norm, the recommendation for prosperity will always come from the truth. Religion, as you can see, Aksum's been around before, way before Jesus Christ, right? So it's not about the religion in so much. The religion plays a major part in character, morals, and understanding right from wrong. Absolutely. But when it comes to scientists, when it comes to science, when it comes to evolution, erosions, religion is right there with us. But what is it telling you to do? Nationalism. Don't go too hard in it. Because what about the humility? Can't we all have humility? Just a little humility for each other to have. And I think that we will all do right. Matter of fact, I know we'll do right. This concludes the Black History Month. The last day, you guys. The last exact day of Black History Month. and I wanted to give you guys King Najashi at his best. I hope you guys liked, and please subscribe. Remember, love, live life, y'all. Do your best and never ever give up.